All right, I'll wait for it to start. I don't know why I'm not good at this. I try 3 times a day to record it, but I always forget. Okay, so let's sketch this one. So yesterday we learned what all these different things meant, right? So our parent formula was this: x minus h squared plus k. Now we learned what a did, we learned what h did, we learned what k did. And we just wrote it down, saying, okay, this is what they do. But this time we're going to go from this is what they do to using it. So these two numbers here, these two things here, describe where the vertex is. Okay, and I kind of do this part first, and then I go to a value. So like, if I had to do it, I could do this part first, and then I look at this second. So in terms of my vertex of the parent formula is always 0, 0. All right. So the h and k is what moves my vertex around. Now let's start with the h, because the h is the x value, and the k is going to be the y value. For my x value, what happens to it? Can someone describe what that -4 means in terms of transformations? Because I'm going to describe it to me. Did you guys already forget it from yesterday? If I were you, I'd have your notes to self out so you can look at your transformation sheet. If you forgot it, where's your notes to self trans? Good. -4 means it moves right 4. Okay. So what that means is my vertex, the x value is going to be 4 positive. Okay. Now what about my k value? What about this 3? What's going to happen with that 3? What does that 3 mean? It moves up. Good. So moves up 3. Perfect. And that k value is my y value of my vertex. So right now I could go and plot my vertex point. Okay, so I could go here and I go in 4, up 3, and that is where my vertex is going to be. Okay, that's where my vertex is. Does that make sense to everyone? Y for yes, N for no, of how I found where my vertex is. So remember, the original vertex was right here, is 0, 0. And then we moved it 4 over to the right and up 3. So that's where my vertex is right there. Now I move to my a value. Okay. Now, before I do my a value, I'm going to write down my step pattern. Okay. So my OG step pattern, my original step pattern is 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. That's my original. What's my a value this time? My a value is 1/2. So to make my new step pattern, so that's my OG, that's my original. This is my new step pattern. I'm going to multiply this number, my original one, times my a value, -0.5. Okay, this would be 3 times -0.5. This is 5 times -0.5, and this is 7 times negative 0.5, which would equal negative 0.5, negative 1.5, negative 2.5, and negative 3.5. How do we feel about what I just did there? So this is my A value, right? So I times my step times my A value. Do we understand what I just did there? Are we good? And we did this yesterday. We made a new step pattern, right? But now let's use that step pattern. So if you remember from yesterday, let's go here. I'm going to show you the very first one. There's our parent formula. That's the original parabola. And if you remember from yesterday, the step pattern 1, 3, 5, 7, that meant we go over 1, up 1. And we could put a dot there. We go over 1, up 3. 1, 2, 3, and our parabola hits there. Then we could go over 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our parabola hits there. So we use a step pattern to graph. So for this one, we're going to go over 1, and our step pattern is minus 0.5, which means we're going to go down a half and put a dot right there. On this side, we go over 1, and we go down a half. So that's this point right here. Then our next step is over 1, down 1.5. So we go down 1.5, so our step's going to be right there. Because the difference between here and here is minus 1.5. Over 1, down 1.5, right there. Okay. Then our next step is 2.5. So over 1, down 1, 2.5. Over 1, down 1, 2.5. Okay. Then this should be symmetrical. So we could draw, and I am the worst person with this pen. We could sketch our parabola. Out of 5, tell me how much you understood me using the step pattern as I sketch that graph. Okay. Good. And you guys could always check your graph. Like you could memorize this formula. You guys can use Desmos on your phone, and you could go in and type it into Desmos. 0.5 bracket x minus 4 squared plus, what was it, plus 3? Plus 3. I could look and say, okay, did my graph look right? That crossed about 1.5. I could go back and take a look at my graph. And my graph cut at 1.5. So it looks about right. All right. So let's try another one. Okay. So I'm going to write this stuff down right now. Just to get us set up. So what I would do first is I'm going to figure out my x coordinate of my vertex, which is this line. I'm going to figure out the y part of my vertex, which is this. I'm going to do that first and then graph it. So who could tell me what is the x coordinate of my vertex? The call is not coming through. Okay. Try to figure it out. I ran a cable from my Wi-Fi to my computer. I'm close to the router, so if that's always an option, try that out as well. Okay. What's over mean, Dominic? I don't understand what over means. That's not a direction. So first things first, is the 5 here, am I going to go left 5 or right 5? Right 5? Yosan says left 5. Okay, Kovac says left. Why is it left? Because it lives in the land of the opposites, right? So whatever sign that is, right, you flip that sign. Okay, so it's a positive right now. That means it becomes a negative down here. Okay. And for our vertical, are we going to go up 1 or down 1? For our y coordinate, is it be up or down? Down 1. Perfect. So now we can graph that point. -5, 1. Oh, -5, -1, sorry. So we could make that graph, and we could go so -5, -1. So our spot is right there. That's a horrible color for that. I need a nice bold color. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. So therefore, we've taken with our vertex. Now, what's the A value here? Oh, I just gave it away. Our A value is 2. So we're going to multiply our step pattern by 2. So our new step pattern is going to be 2, 6, 10, 14. Okay. I'm going to copy my step pattern and move it down here so we can look at it. Does everyone understand? Do I have a thumbs up? Do I have a yes or a no of how did I get that new step pattern? Do I have a yes or a no for that? Okay. So now, to use my step pattern, I'm going to go over, my first step is 2. That means I'm going to go over 1, up 2. And that's where I'm going to put my first dot. So I'm going to put a dot there, over 1, up 2. I'm going to put a dot there. Now my next step is 6. That means I'm going to go over 1, and this time up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where my next dot's going to go. And it's going to look the exact same on this side. And now I can draw my parabola. Okay. How many of you, out of 5, 5 being yes, I have it, if I gave you the next question and gave you 3 minutes to do it, 5 means yes, I 100% could do it. 2 is like, maybe I can get the something down, right? Tell me how we feel right now. Okay. That's good. So let's try this one. I'll make up an equation here for you. Y equals 3 bracket x minus 1 squared minus 4. Okay. I want to give people time, see if they can do this by themselves. I'll put the hints out first. Okay. And even if you can get the first part done but don't know how to graph it, that's excellent. Okay. So if you're, I want everyone to, I'll give you 2 minutes to get ahead of me. Okay. And I want everyone to write something down on their paper. Even if it's wrong, that's fine. You learn from your mistakes. Move on from there. So give me, if you have everything done and you think you have like your sketch done. Now, when I mean sketch it, like you guys are on a piece of paper, right? You kind of go like this. You kind of show that you count up. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? But I'd say like, okay, that's over 1, up like 2 for the last one. Then you go like over 1, up 6, right? And kind of gently sketch it. So give me a D in chat if you're all done. Now, if you're stuck and you can't go any further, give me an S in chat. Like if you're stuck and you're done, give me an S. Okay. Give everyone till my clock turns to 9:35. Okay. Okay. Oh, I still got 30 seconds. I have no clue how much time I've left. I'm waiting for it to turn 9:35. Have I seen Tessa today? Yeah, I do. Ben, good. Brandon. I swear I saw Brandon earlier. All right, I'll wait till I do this question. All right. What is my vertex? Can someone tell me what my vertex is? Here, what's my 2 numbers for my vertex? -4. Remember, this here is in the land of opposites. So the numbers are 1 minus 4. Okay. This one switches signs. Okay. This one stays the same. So 1 comma -4. So we're going to go 1 to the right this time. 1 to the right, and down 4, and there's my vertex right there. Okay. Now, my A value is 3, right? So I'm going to multiply all this by 3. So 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, 5 times 3, 15, 7 times 3 is 21. So here's my new step pattern. So I'm going to go over 1, up 3. Over 1, up 1, 2, 3. Over 1, up 3. My next one's 9. I'm not going to have room for this anyway. Over 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's put it right there. And it's going to be the same on this side. So I can have something that looks like this. Now, if I were marking this, let's do a little evaluation here. So this would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 3. Putting your vertex there would be 4. Now let's give the dots and then the arrows. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of 6, now if you happen to get your vertex wrong, but you're able from the wrong vertex, like if you put the vertex over here, from the wrong vertex, you're able to do everything else right. You just lose those 2 marks. Okay, out of 6, does anyone want to share what grade they got out of 6, so I can kind of figure out? And if you didn't, let me see what everyone's grade is. So 1 mark for this part, 1 mark for this part, 1 mark for being able to make your new step pattern, 1 mark for getting your vertex where it should be, 1 mark for putting my green dots where they should be, and 1 mark for including the parabola. Okay. Of the people who did not get 6, what was your main error? Like, where did you make the error? That way I know exactly what to reinforce. So anyone want to share with me where the main mistake was, where you tripped up? Gabe, I'd love to hear where you got stuck, because if you got stuck there, other people got stuck there as well.
I just didn't pay attention yesterday, but it's making sense now.
Okay.
Like when I looked at the numbers, I got like really like confused. I'm like, what? And then it just was super simple. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. What do you mean by the graph, Yosan? Like how to do the step pattern? Is that what you mean? How to apply the step pattern? Okay, we'll do another one here. So the step pattern is always, this number here is the up. So from our vertex, or from our last dot, we always go over 1 and then up the first number. Then we go over 1 and then up the second number. Then over 1 again and up the third number. That's where if we go over 1 this way, so we went over 1 and then we went up 3. So that's kind of the first check here. And the same thing happens on this side. We go over 1 and up 3. And then the next one, we went over 1 again, and this time up 9. Over 1, up 9. Does that help to see, Yosan?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, let's do another one here. Let's do, Give me 1 second here. I'm waiting for this phone call. Hello, Michael speaking. Oh, yes. Oh, perfect. Do you have 5 of each kind? I know I said 2 of one kind. 5 of each would be wonderful. Okay, I won't be able to get there till like 3 this afternoon. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Okay, bye. Sorry for the interruption there. But I'm doing sanding a lot tonight, or today, for this week. All right, let's make another equation. Let's go y equals negative 2 x squared plus 5. Here's a different one for you. Does anyone need help with the vertex? Just say yes or no. Don't type in the vertex for me. But if you need help finding the vertex, tell me.
I'm just confused if the 2 and the x are together or if they're separate.
No, they're separate. So if you think about it like this, I'll give you my parent formula again. Oh, come on. Right there. There we go. What do you see in this equation? What letters do you see, Gabe, in this equation? What letters can you match up?
X.
Well, the x, but besides the x.
Squared?
No, besides the square. Well, no, what? Oh, sorry. My wording was wrong, Gabe.
Like what?
Do you see an a value in this equation?
Yeah, that's the 2.
Negative 2. Good.
Okay.
Do you see a k value?
5. Okay.
Good. So the 5 goes in there. Do you see an h value?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Where? Do you see an h value in this equation?
Well, wouldn't it be the, okay, never mind. No, I don't.
No, so that's going to be, in this case, that one's going to be 0 then. Since it doesn't exist, right? It's going to be 0. That's why I kind of mixed it up on you that time. So that means that's 0. So your vertex is at 0, 5. So if I were to graph this, it'd be right here. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now do your step pattern. As I do attendance. Have I seen Riley today? Riley's there. Brandon, I've seen. Good. Ben, I saw. Ben, I saw. Abby, I've seen. Farley, I've seen. Laura, I've seen. Ethan, I've seen. Gabe, I've seen. Green, I saw. Jay, I saw. Kovacs, I saw. Logan has chimed in. Yeah. McDougal. Haley. Give me a D in chat when you're all done. I'm kind of doing my attendance on the backside. Andreas Jackson. Yep. Olivia Sanvito. Tang, I saw. Perfect. Good, good. Does anyone need more time? Put T in chat if you want some more time. That way I know. I'm more concerned with who's not done and who is done. Okay, so my step pattern, I'm going to multiply all these by -2. So my step pattern is going to be -2, -6, -10, -14. So this time I'm going to go over 1. This time I'm going to go down 2 since it's -2. And put my new dot, my next dot right there, and there's going to be one, oops. There's going to be one that's symmetrical on the other side. And my next pattern is -6, so that's -2. And I'm going to go over 1. I'm going to go down 6. 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. And put my dot right there. Now I can't make another dot because I'm going to run out of space. So I smoothly connect these dots, not like I'm a person having a seizure, like it always looks like. And boom. Okay. So if I were to do my marking again, there's one mark there, one mark there, one mark there, one mark for the vertex, one mark for building my dots off the vertex, and then one mark for drawing a line. Even if you had your vertex in the wrong spot, as long as you have your dots working off that vertex, you're good. So, is there a spot right now that's hanging people up that you're getting confused on? No? So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to kind of not split the class, but split the class. I'm going to show you your homework. Oh, your new, so don't go to Thursday's homework. Okay? See where it says new Thursday homework? That's what we're going to work from today. Okay? That's what we're going to work from today is new Thursday's homework because I've moved everything there. Still do your hand in Thursday, but new Thursday homework. So, oh, I made you lots of questions. I must have really liked doing this. Well, these ones are going backwards. Let's do a couple of these together. For this one here, take away those brackets. So that's just going to equal y equals a half x squared plus 2. Okay? That's just like the one we just did, so I don't want to tap on that one. Let's do this one. Okay, so this is how I have this set up. Okay, and I'll walk through this one somewhat quick. So I asked for my horizontal transformation. Let's do one that has a horizontal. Okay. So horizontal transformation is my h value. So this one would be -1. Okay. Then I ask for my vertical transformation. That is +2, which will lead to my vertex being -1, 2. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes, no, maybe so? How I did those first two parts? Yes? Okay. Then I could always graph my vertex here. So -1 up 2. So I can graph my Let me take away that. Let's do it in a color so you can see. Okay. Then I asked the question, is it opening up or opening down? What is it opening? If I look at here, what's it opening? Up or down? Down. So I can put a D there. It's down because of its a negative sign here. Good. What is the stretch? Now, stretch or compress. This time it's above 3, so it's going to be a stretch by a factor of 3. Then I work through this and I make my new pattern. So I'm going to multiply everything by -3. So it's -3, -9, -15, -21. And then I can graph from here. So over 1, down 3. Then over 1, down 9. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. How do we feel about that? Out of 5. Give me a rating out of 5, how you felt about what I just did there. Okay. Now, for these ones near the end, I gave you the graph. Then I want you to fill in this information. Okay? So let's look at the graph here. Who wants to tell me what my horizontal transformation was for this one? For this graph here, what was my horizontal transformation? So for this graph here, what's my horizontal transformation? I'll wait in chat until someone tells me. If you
Is the horizontal transformation like how far it had to go like horizontal from like the vertex to like the farthest horizontal point?
the horizontal transformation is going from the original spot.
Mhm.
So the original spot's right here, correct?
Yeah.
How far left or right does it go to get to the vertex?
Okay, so it's 5.
-6.
-6.
2,
Oh,
4.
that's 6. I thought that was a 5. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. It's tough looking off a screen.
Mhm.
So it's -6 is my horizontal transformation. Haley, I agree with you, but not quite yet. Okay? I understand what you're thinking. What's my vertical transformation? So my vertical, let me erase this here. Right, my horizontal transformation was this. My vertical is looking from this spot here. Did it go up or down?
And it doesn't
So
matter about anything else. It just matters about the vertex in that situation.
Yeah, we're just looking at the vertex because this is like the transformation just moves your vertex around.
Okay.
Okay, so this one here is -4 because the vertex went down 4 from the original spot, right? It's down 4. Good, so that makes our vertex -6, comma, -4, right? I could color code those better. Does all the coloring help you guys when I match the colors? Yes or no? Okay, that way you can kind of see where it came from. Now, does this open up or open down? This parabola. Open up or open down? Oh, everybody should be on this one. Open up. Okay. Now here's the tough part. How do we figure out the step pattern? All right? How do we figure out what that stretch or compress number is? Well, we take a look here, and we go to our vertex, and we go over 1, and then we're going to go up until we hit our thing. And we only had to go up 1. Right? And we can go again. We go over 1, up 1, 2, 3. So if our step pattern is 1, 3, 5, is that our original step pattern or a new step pattern? So our step pattern we just looked at, I just counted. We went over 1, up 1, over 1, up 3, over 1, up 5. That's the same, right? So that tells me my step pattern didn't move, or I have to times this by 1 to get that. Does that make sense how I just figured that out to people? Yes or no?
Can I interrupt you for 1 second, Mr. O?
Pardon?
Where's that assignment that I'm missing? Is that under Wednesday or is it from week 1?
Okay, we'll wait till we're done this lesson, then I'll chat to you about that.
Okay.
Okay. So now, here's my question. Can we build an equation out of this? Here's my parent formula, right? Let's build an equation. What's going in for my A value? Can someone tell me what's going to go in there? What number is going to go in for my A value? 1. Perfect. Now, what's my H going to be? Is it going to be a plus? So my H is my horizontal, so it's going to be this one. Is it going to be a plus or a minus that goes in there? Remember, I'm going left. It's going to be a plus. Very good. Because if I were to expand this, it'd be x minus 6, and a negative times a negative make a positive. Okay. Then lastly, my last part that goes in is minus 4. So your homework today will be, now there's 12 questions, 13 questions. Geez, I love making this whenever I make this. There's 13 questions there. Do I expect you to do all 13 questions? No, right? So you're to do this until you're super comfortable with it. And let's say you have to get like at least 2 in a row, or 3 in a row. Let's say 3 in a row to get it right. Okay? Then hop over here and try to get a couple of these correct. Okay? If you want help, we'll do a couple more of these. There's lots of questions here, so we can do some of these ones. Okay? There's only 10? What do you mean there's only 10? 10, 11, 12, 13. Whatever. There's lots. No matter what, there's lots there. Okay? And the answers are right below it as well. Right? With my beautiful handwriting. Now, sometimes if I didn't include a new step pattern, that's because it's a 1 in front. Okay, which I really should have. I should have wrote -1, but I must have been lazy as I was doing it. Okay. How do we feel about what I showed you today out of 5? Are we good with it? And I'm looking for people to stay behind and get some help with it if they want. Okay. Good. So let's go.
I'll stay behind.
Okay, no problem. What should we do? $11, Dominic says. Okay, let's go 11. So you have lots of time to get this down. Okay. So 11 a.m. we'll start next lesson. All right. So Gabe, you want to do a couple?
Sure.
Good homework, Gabe. There's only one section of it.
I started hanging in stuff that I didn't do.
Perfect.
So even if it's late, like hopefully you'll take it still.
All right. Let me do Ethan's here first. Ethan, you had a question about assignments?
Yeah, the last night, the email that you sent. What assignment do I need
Oh.
to do?
Oh, yes. I want you to do your attendance first before you head out.
Me? Me?
No, everybody. Do the attendance check real quick, and then I'll answer your question.
All right.
All right. The people who are done, who use the QR code, tell me when you're done. All right. Here, Ethan. Oops. Where am I going? I'm going this way. Okay, for you, Ethan, your assignment here, the week 1 assignment. Okay. So this is in your assignments folder in your this is in your assignments folder in your OneNote. Okay.
Oh, I just
so
said
the week
week 1 assignment.
Yeah, just week 1 assignment.
Okay.
And then notes of future self week 1.
Yeah.
That's the hand-in part. I think they're actually the blank ones are in your notes of self folder. There's where the blank is.
Okay.
Then we have you have this one too, the foil, the logic here. And we've talked kind of through this. Is like, how do I make the negative there?
Yeah.
As we go through, right?
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Mr. O,
Yeah, go, Brandon.
I have the same thing as him. You said I missed an assignment on the email, but I handed it in.
Okay, it just might not be in the right place. Let me look here. So I have your
Oh,
notes.
yeah. It's the foil one. I put it under week 2. Okay.
Yeah, so put it in here. Okay.
Just under assign. Okay.
Yeah, I can move it over for you. Where'd you put it?
I put it in week 2, I think.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we went over it too, didn't we?
Yeah, that's why I was a bit confused.
That's not bad. There you go. I moved it over for you. Okay, Gabriel.
So I just had trouble copy and pasting my work into the thing because I didn't do it on paper. Like I did it. Like if you go and look at the oral assignment or the week 1 assignment, like I did that. Like I just did it.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. I saw that.
I mean, can I get marks on that or no?
Yeah, you will.
Okay, and then the foil and factoring one I can do tonight because last night my plan was to do a bunch of homework while I was like from like when class ended to like all night, right? But I got home late because I got called into work.
Yeah, no problem.
so I just like I'll do things that I miss. Like I'll catch up. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not been like doing anything because like I've just my head has not been on school. I just haven't cared. But
Yeah.
I'll wake up now. Like I'll be good.
Yeah, but that like my email last night was kind of like, hey, this is where you're standing right now. And it's better to like get those emails now than at like the 2 weeks in.
When you can't do anything.
Right. So I'll probably do that like each week. I'll be like, here's what we need in. Here's where like you're keeping on track, you're not keeping on track. Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was actually pretty interesting. I taught the grade 12 data course this year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the grade 12 data course, I need to stop my recording.